This is Ryan Abraham, Dan Weber, USCFootball.com. Instant analysis here on Howard Jones Field. A nice warm morning here, getting ready for Arizona State. It's going to be a warm day Saturday evening in the Coliseum. So Steve Sarkisian trying to get these guys ready, knowing they're going to have to play a lot of plays.
Yeah, and it was up in the air. There was a 4:30 game and a 7:30 slot, and I think UCLA got the 7:30 ESPN slot. USC got the 4:30 Fox, and probably 93 plus, 94, 95, something like that when it kicks off. I know we weren't all that crazy about being at the Coliseum press box at 2 in the morning last week, but we won't be there as late this week. But it's going to be it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. A team like USC that practices outside all week, with a team like Arizona State, which sometimes in this kind of heat, they've got to practice indoors. I don't know who that necessarily helps when we get to that Saturday afternoon at 4:30. I'm not sure.
We'll have to see. And Arizona State ran 111 plays, I believe it was, against UCLA. This USC team can do up-tempo at times. Steve Sarkisian trying to get these guys ready, knowing there's probably going to be more bodies in this game just because of the sheer number of plays.
Yeah, that's twice. Oregon State ran 56, so we're basically talking about double. So, and a lot of people were, why didn't so-and-so get in on defense? Why didn't so-and-so? And one of the basic reasons was they didn't have to rotate very much at all. But it's good to know that they're basically going to have to rotate, and that they know they're going to have to rotate. And they've got some decent numbers to rotate, which I think a lot of people were looking for, maybe a Greg Townsend, a Cody Temple, to see how much chance they were going to get. I think they're going to get a chance to play this week. Offensive
players available to speak to the media today. Got to talk to the running backs. We got to see Trey Madden, limited role, but back in pads.
Yeah, I know. I think they were pretty optimistic this week. I don't think I probably was quite as optimistic about Saturday for Trey, just knowing, more than 4 weeks, haven't really, gone through a full practice yet. Almost hadn't been in pads. Today was in pads, did some individual stuff. Then he kind of shut it down. He said it takes him a long time to get it loose, and then, it's the most frustrating thing he's had. James Tolan got a lot of work today, though, I think, in terms of the three backs, with Justin Davis, who had, the great game last year at Tempe, and Buck. So, it could be good progress for Trey to kind of get through practices, or as much of practice as he can, but you wouldn't be looking, for all that much Saturday. He's telling you, we're just taking it day by day, and didn't get into any of the team stuff today.
Steve Sarkisian did talk about trying to break tackles in that second level for the running backs. Didn't do a great job against Oregon State, but you saw what UCLA was able to do, breaking tons of tackles. So, point of emphasis, it could work out well for the Trojans this weekend.
Yeah, I think just the thinking about it, because they really couldn't run by a single, basically every single one-on-one in the open field against Oregon State, they went down, one-hand tackle, whatever. Nobody seems to understand what was going on. Why weren't we able to? Obviously we've seen Buck do it, we've seen Justin do it, they just couldn't do it. I think just the very fact that Sark talked to him about it Sunday, they've been thinking about it. I just think, that whole thinking process probably, I do think practices have slowed down a little bit. Sark has talked about that, and the difficulty of incorporating, kind of the go-go up-tempo mentality with, complete preparation for the next opponent, and trying to, do things that are, specifically suited to your next opponent. And it's a difficult mesh to kind of get both of those things in the time you've got. And they don't have, with the morning practices, they don't have, like they did in August, the ability to do the walkthrough, the 45-minute walkthrough. So they kind of combine the walkthrough with practice, which kind of slows things down a little bit. So that's the genius of coaching, if you can figure out how to put all those things together in the time you've got.
One last thing for you, Dan. Victor Blackwell, still not at practice. It's been a couple weeks. Get an update from Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, he basically said he will not say that he's off the team. He will just say, I haven't talked to him in 2 weeks. If he'd come and talk to me, we'd find out what's going on. But that one is just kind of out there. You wouldn't think, once you've not communicated with your head coach in 2 weeks, that there's really a place for you on the team. But they're not saying that yet. But, he's not here.
No, 3 catches for 54 yards against Fresno State. Haven't really seen him since. All right, well, it's going to wrap it up here from Howard Jones Field. For Dan Weber, this is Ryan Abraham. Check out USCFootball.com for more.